We are. We're live.
Word?
We're live.
We live.
What episode?
Do we
5?
5.5?
5?
We got a lot of lost episodes in here somewhere.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did a lot of recording. It was for I was gonna use it for promo. So I did like a couple individual, just me and another person just talking about shit.
Yeah.
Because like I kind of wanted this to be like a group thing.
Yeah.
So like the one-on-ones, I'm just chilling, shooting shit, and I'll just grab snippets from it and post it on IG.
So you had it before him.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Kinda. Yeah.
like couple like a month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a couple, but I always knew I wanted it to be group talk, not just one-on-one. We'll do one every now and again
With each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just yeah, this is dope. This is Alexander Payne. Yeah, talking.
Alexander
This
Payne
is me. I'm Alexander Payne.
Yeah, dog.
is in the building.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate being in a place with fish tanks.
Yeah. No,
No
it's nice. I've noticed the where we shoot. It's very animal lively.
Yeah.
There's a lot of life in this house.
There's a lot of life, you know. Makes you feel good. Makes you feel like, kind of got that Ace Ventura vibe.
This
You do the call.
bunch of
Yeah.
animals and shit come out.
Yeah.
And actually, no, you do the call and a bunch of cats just run up to the front door looking for food. That's what ends up happening. Nah, man, welcome to Negro Jump.
Why is it called Negro Jump?
Should being all official.
Did you ever say what?
I just like it. He's being all official. He's like,
Nah,
it,
'cause, like,
it
I
took
have
us
to-
like
I
6
have to.
episodes for him to
I
finally
realized-
start calling people out.
I realized I had to. It was like, because before I'm like, yo, let's just talk.
We'd
Like,
be 20 minutes in and be like, we didn't tell anybody who we were for like.
it's fine. It's fine, man. I'm going to tag you on Instagram, Facebook, all of that good shit. I think even one post I put the voices you hear. I was about to put like the voices you hear are XYZ or
Yeah.
whatnot. I call it Negro Jump because you remember the Shonen Jump,
Yeah.
the manga magazines? And just drop
okay.
Shonen and just put.
Negro.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, man.
I just wanted to know why.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Yeah, man. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real simple.
It starts simple and then
So you can't have white
Sometimes.
people on here, or there can be?
I mean, you can.
Alright.
One of the
Yeah.
snippets I just recently put up was with my boy Joe.
Yeah.
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 I'm not gonna put the whole episode up because he
Yeah, that
I
white's
might-
not welcome.
I might do it because he literally he referred to older black people how they dress as a chingy.
a chingy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
Chingy the.
Rapper.
Yeah.
That's his one reference.
This is
Wow.
the South. We're talking. It's a different place.
First of all, I gave him points for even just saying
Chingy.
Chingy?
yes,
Yeah.
a specific
sir.
rapper from a certain era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
But he could have called him like.
He doesn't know any better.
He could have said a juvenile,
A juvie?
a juvie. He could have said a juvie.
Mystical.
He don't
He
know.
could have said a mystical.
He don't know any
that
of those
sounds
people.
better.
You know,
But he knows Chingy. He knows.
but
He knows
probably
Chingy.
from the Holiday Inn song.
Oh,
That's probably the
right,
only.
right,
That's
okay.
probably the only reason why he knows him.
That is a song a white person would hear and be like,
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to remember this guy for the rest of my
Holiday
life.
What was that song on the radio about that hotel?
Yeah.
It's like Chingy,
Yeah.
Flow Rider, Pitbull.
Whatever happened to that D4L? I was really feeling them. Laffy Taffy.
Fabo was my favorite.
Fabo.
Come on.
Goddamn. Son.
Ah.
All right, you're from LA
I'm
originally,
from
right?
Los Angeles, yeah.
When did you first come out to New York?
6 years ago? I think it was 6 years ago. I moved here. Was it 2013?
How was it
When I first came here?
transitioning? Yeah.
I hated it for 9 months.
Uh-huh.
Let me give it that extra month of hate.
Okay.
Took it to full term.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was terrible. It's pretty bad. Coming from LA, everyone's a little bit. It's a adjustment. I'll just say that. Like, the getting around, no one giving a fuck about you.
Yep.
Everybody walking so fucking fast.
Yeah, dog.
Did you find the getting around a little easier up here since everything's condensed, or do you like driving? Is that what you're like?
I liked driving it more at first because I realized, like, when you're driving and shit, if you don't turn the radio on, you think.
Yeah.
But then I realized here it's the same thing where it's like, you get so much shit just from sitting on the train and watching people interact with each other.
Yeah, dog.
That's kind of really, you never stop thinking here. Like if you don't carry headphones, you never tune out. You just always watching people interact with each other, and that shit is hilarious. I watched like a white lady like trying to squeeze in between a black dude the other day on the train, and he was like on his phone. He was like, "Fuck out of here!" And I was like, "Whoa!" And I just watched the white lady be like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And just sat there.
I kind of found a trick early on that like if this is when I was like only going to like Union Square and just start my day from there. If I wear glasses in camo, like on my jacket, and then I read a James Baldwin book, no one will sit next to me. Nobody.
So you got a couple
on
defense
a packed L train. I had an empty seat for like 5 stops. Nobody didn't want any problems with me at all whatsoever.
It's always got me like people here, like they act like cars, but they're people. Like you see the one dude who's got the beat pill wrapped around his chest, and it's like, oh, he's just a lowrider. Like he's just a human lowrider. He's just walking around loud as shit. Like
that's the new boombox. Shit.
New boombox, yeah.
Oh man.
The funniest shit though, like, is if like when like they got the beat pill and it's playing music, and you be like, oh, they must own that, and then you hear like a commercial for, you're like, oh, you don't even have the full Pandora. Like, anyways,
I spent my whole subscription on this
beat pill.
Yeah, on this beat pill.
Yeah.
Like,
fucking beat pill.
That's hilarious.
They fucking just I don't want to say bamboozle. They just got everybody with making beats just like the coolest thing.
Oh yeah.
Ever. Once they put rappers behind it, it was like, yo, this shit is so cool, man. Look at this.
We all like Dre.
Speaker. Wireless. I think I only seen him in like one commercial ever for beats.
Yeah.
As far as I know, and then he sold that shit for like $500 million.
Yeah.
Think $1 billion, but he got half with him and Jimmy Iovine, and
he cashed the fuck out.
I
on
remember
that shit.
I watched Straight Outta Compton. Loved that movie. I saw it in theaters.
yeah,
It was fun, but the funniest part was at the very end. Like the credits started rolling. And it was basically an ad for Dre Beats. And
really?
He was sitting down with Kendrick Lamar. It's like after the movie's over, so it's a whole period piece because it's set in the 90s and it's so cool. It's interesting. Then at the end of the movie, they break that whole like mystique, and you're sitting with Kendrick Lamar and an old Dr. Dre, and they're talking about beats. And I'm just like,
oh,
this nigga just sold us.
Yeah, that was the last. Like, all right.
Yeah.
This
And
is
then
the
I got
last
that album
commercial.
coming out. I'm just like, nigga, if you don't stop selling me shit, I already bought tickets for the movie. Like, I'm here. Like.
How big is what's the music like out there as far as
I bet it's popping.
when
appeal,
I was a kid or like now.
yeah,
keep up with
up until you left. Like what is it like the appeal? A dude still playing like G-Funk heavy and stuff like that?
No, you don't hear like Dre and stuff like that anymore. He was the only person that really made that. Like you said in the movie, like I was probably around when he was like after NWA, Death Row on.
Got you.
Yeah.
And Tupac was there. He would shoot his videos at the Crenshaw Mall. Shaq was there.
What part of LA you from?
South Central.
Okay.
So South
right in
Central is not Compton.
Uh-huh.
Everybody thinks it's the same. Compton is more hood.
Okay.
South Central is where Ice Cube is from in the movie.
Got you.
Like where he was like on the bus and the dude was like gangbanging and shit like that.
Yeah.
That would be my street right there.
Nigga
where
was
it's like,
freestyle on a bus for the jury crowd.
yeah. That would be that strip right there is Slauson.
Okay.
Oh, where Nipsey Hussle used to have his store. I live 2 blocks from there.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
where he
The marathon spot?
Yep.
Yeah.
that place, that clothing store. I met him. He was nice. He was actually a really nice guy.
He seemed pretty chill, but I just heard it was another comic that we know from North Carolina, Brian Granger. He's from. Was Brian from L.A. or was it like
He's
the
somewhere-
Bay Area?
Oakland. I think he's from
He
Oakland.
said he moved around like
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
in California. He was like the rolling 60s. He was like them niggas used to terrorize.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. 58th Street. So
Got
they're
you.
2 blocks away. From
Got
60s.
you. He said he used to just terrorize the fucking neighborhood and shit. But somebody like Nipsey, he just seemed mad chill. Even like the old interviews when like he was gonna come up, he just seemed mad chill and just mad like
he was like
just,
really young. He was talking like
dedicated and shit.
That's why I met him. I was like, oh man, my brother loves mixtapes. Boz is like, oh, that's what's up, nephew. Thank you right there. I appreciate that. Met him at the gas station. He's like, all right, that's what's up. Bring it in.
Hell yeah,
Out
dog.
here.
Yeah.
I don't know that LA I don't know, that California accent is
Hey,
always
Brett.
just yeah.
All that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, cuz.
Yeah.
So they didn't really rock the music that much of that. It's one thing I noticed about New York is that they stay listening
Loyal.
to the New York shit. Like
Yeah.
it's the whole vibe. We were sitting in the car the other day, we were just riding around, and we were listening to Ghostface,
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Like I get why this music sounds the way it does, because you drive around and you listen to this shit, you're like, oh, this shit is just grit. Like it's just like
But I will say I was listening to 444 when I got out here.
Yeah.
Jay-Z last album. And like I got real sad just being on the train. And like when he was like, I'm talking about old Brooklyn, not this new shit. I'm like, damn. Nothing, whatever he's talking about does not exist anymore at all whatsoever. Yeah.
East New York, this is kind of.
But it's the
Sounds
last
like
of
vibe.
it. But
Yeah.
the other day I was driving, I seen 2 white guys jogging. So
Oh, yeah. They're
Yeah.
coming for it.
yeah, it's over.
the scouts.
It's
Those
over.
are the scouts.
You see the articles on Facebook. That's how they
The
get you.
disciples.
What you mean?
There'll be an article on Facebook that'll say, like, in East New York, there haven't been any murders in 6 weeks. And then a white person will go, click, let's see what's going on
Oh
here.
God.
Real estate.
Let me check.
Because you'll never see those articles ever before. But
Right.
now they know, like, to, like, make you think it's safer. Then more white people will
Oh,
come.
to just sell it. So these
Yeah.
are just definitely like
Yeah.
like
Deep fakes.
from real estate agents and
oh,
shit
100%.
like that. Got you.
100%, yeah,
Oh
they
yeah,
know
don't move out here, white people. Please don't. These POCs have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere else.
Yes,
No.
they do. It's called North Carolina.
Or if you
Get
do,
your ass
They can try. It's too damn hot down there. They
if you
going
do, just don't talk about it. Don't
That's
post
it.
about it. Just stay in your cut.
go somewhere else, man.
Be the one person.
Because these people, they don't.
Don't tell
give
your
a
cousins.
Fuck. They don't give a fuck
No.
around here. At all whatsoever. You seen up the street? Them niggas. It was like a parade came through there. And all it is just leftover fireworks and shit. They just left in the street. Them niggas do not care
Yeah.
at all. I love it though. I love every second.
Yeah,
I
man.
love it.
Need that grit. Need
Just
that
always, always on the edge. It was a prostitute that stopped me on the stop off the J recently. And I was like, that was the first. I never know what I'm gonna see at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It was just like, I'll be your friend for $1. I'm like, I'm all right. Thank you.
Not even suck your dick, just your friend.
Just your friend for $1.
Yeah, I'll add you on
like the-
Facebook right now for free.
For
A
real?
human version of a pop up. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yo, that's coming soon. Was like, nigga, pay me $1. I'll follow you on Instagram right now.
Let me like your shit.
It's going to like
This
spree.
you Gerard
Like-
Fortune? How you
Yeah.
know that?
Don't worry about it, baby. Don't worry about it.
All right, we
you got
got
$1?
Don't worry about it.
3
He just
mutual
open-
friends already.
It's all
Open
him.
up the coat and he just got like handles. Just like, you
He
know,
got like 3 tablets.
at PewDiePie. At follow my shit,
Goddamn.
nigga.
You got TikTok? You ain't okay. You ain't on
What
that.
is
I'm actually-
TikTok?
You know TikTok
it's
is the
okay.
new one.
It just
Yeah,
seemed
it's-
like a bunch of like anime people
It's weird. I can't. It's the one where I've cut myself off. I'm
doing
I
like
can't- I can't
doing
watch it.
doing live action AMVs.
Yeah,
and
what
shit?
is it exactly? It's like music timed with video,
It's
right?
basically like the new Vine. Like, remember how they got rid of Vine? They just
Yeah.
added 8 more seconds and be like, it's back. And then it's just another way. You could do music, you could do whatever, but it's like 15 seconds. And you can link it to other things. Like, here's my YouTube, here's my Instagram. It's another way to make people attention span to go down. Where they're like,
It's
all right,
terrible.
a minute's too long. Like, can we get something shorter? And there's 15 seconds. And kids will like sing into the microphone, and then they'll go to
Yeah, these
class and be
these
like,
kids
"What is
are
this
weird.
bitch talking about? Can't she tell me this in 15 seconds or less? I don't want to hear this."
Yo,
shit.
them little niggas will lose their goddamn mind watching like primetime TV back in like the 90s and
God.
2000s and
They
shit.
wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
You ain't got no choice but to watch a
They wouldn't know
commercial.
what to do with themselves.
You gotta watch a commercial.
Yeah.
You can't escape. The internet ain't that popping, ain't that lit. You gotta wait 10 minutes for that shit to boot up.
Yeah.
You ever be on YouTube and you gotta wait that 5 seconds to skip ad? It'd be like the longest 5 seconds of your life.
I hate that it's an option where it's like just play it.
Just play the whole thing.
If it's 30 seconds, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I've spent most of my life watching commercials.
Yeah.
I can make it through this.
Some
one.
of them are good. Some of them are worth it. I'm just like, oh shit, I've been watching this preview for like.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
now,
mean to.
yeah, and it's just garbage. It's
Yeah.
just like you just want to see the end. Like, oh, this is a terrible.
Yeah. I always hated though with the one where it's like the one nigga who's doing better than you, and he's just like, look at all this cool shit I got. You want to know how to get it?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh.
just like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's that Ty. What's that guy's name? Ty Rivera.
yeah.
It's like a little short Hispanic dude, and he's like,
Isn't
I
he a
got
comic?
jet. I got 11 planes. It's
Ty Rivera.
Ty
probably
Rivera
is.
is just like some dude who like it's like a lifestyle coach. He's like, what
Really?
are you doing right now? You're not even working. He's like, what you need to do is you need to read a book. I don't even read books. I just read the first and last page. His name's Ty Rivera. I know
What's
exactly
up?
what you're talking about.
Just
Yeah.
got off. Just got back from Tahiti. You
Yeah.
know, this is my garage. Check out my garage. Keep looking. You know, keep watching, and I'm gonna show you how to make all the money. And I'm just like,
Oh, thanks for
I wanna watch
checking
this
out my
Let's Play.
first YouTube video. If you go ahead, just smash that subscribe button, guys.
Smash.
Yeah, smash it. I heard
Smash
some.
the like button.
I watched a tutorial for like a video editing software, and
Mhm.
like it was a dude with definitely like a European accent. It was like, yes, if you could please smash the like button. So I can- it was brutal.
Americans.
Like
Please
nigga,
and
just tell me to fucking program.
subscribes.
All right, you got siblings?
Yeah.
How many siblings you got?
I got an older brother, and then I got 4 younger siblings. So my older brother is my dad, my mom. Then my dad and mom split up, and then my dad, like a normal black man, had more kids.
Uh-huh.
Unprotected
That sounds about
sex.
right. Yeah,
There you go.
that
And
sound
then
right.
he had
Lineage.
two
What
sets
are
of
condoms?
twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
are those?
Two
Two sets of twins.
Two
I don't-
sets?
Two sets of twins. So
Just from him.
from him, yeah.
Damn.
His nuts were strong.
Yeah.
They split into
Got super.
yeah. He had
All
like that.
boys.
Oh,
No, he had one twin is a boy, and the rest of them are all girls. I remember he was like crying one time. He's like, "Girls make you into a bitch." He was like, "These girls make me soft."
Is working with them that'll do it to you too.
But I ain't got no kids.
That's
Yeah, I
there
got
you go.
siblings. Yeah.
There you go, dog.
Mhm.
There you go, dog. Hell yeah.
did y'all spend a lot of time in South Central, or did you guys have to?
We grew up there. I mean, me and my brother grew up there the whole entire time. My other brothers and sisters grew up in Venice, and Venice is like nicer than South Central is another way to say it. It's like
uppity.
not uppity. It's just like the middle of the city, so it's like near the beach. It's not too far from the beach. It's like near like Culver City where they shoot movies and stuff like that.
Like high rises and banks and stuff like that. All the businessy side. kinda
Now it's about to be that way, but back
Mm.
then it wasn't that way. It was like a lot of burnt out dudes who did drugs. Like Venice was like their last like place they would like be like,
Oh, they
yeah.
got pushed.
Oh,
they
Venice
got
Beach
pushed
type shit,
into
yeah.
Venice and stuff.
They didn't get pushed, but it was like that's what Venice always was. Venice was always like surfer drug dudes.
Oh, okay.
Always. I mean, I don't think you can take it away from them. Really, they've always had that place.
I hear the homeless out there is ridiculous. Like I hear it's just like
because
because it's like the weather's nice, so they
Yeah.
just chill. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
there really isn't a reason to own a home in Los Angeles. If you think about it, 70 degrees all the time. You can
See,
sleep on the beach.
I tried to
Just get
run.
a tent.
I went out
Yeah.
there for
Yeah.
a few days, like 2 years ago, and I tried to run that as just an idea.
Yeah.
About 2 other comments, it was like, you watch how you say that if you're gonna say that on stage. I'm like, but you know what I'm talking about, man. Like, if I had to be homeless,
This is the place to
this
be
is
homeless.
the
pla-
place.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the place to do it.
This is like where homeless people go to retire.
It's
I've been homeless in New York for years.
big
I'm just gonna
leagues.
chill.
It's what was depressing, I will say, is seeing Skid Row. It was just like,
oh
wow.
yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's like, what? How many blocks is it?
It's not even that many blocks. It's actually like just a mile and a half. It's like they take all the homeless people and it's like downtown and they just like push them all in together. And when you find out what they do, not the government, but like California, what they do is they pick a lot of them up and they dump them out like in the valley and shit. It's like, it's too many of y'all here. Y'all got to go. And they'll like move them.
Just
But
treat 'em
somehow
like-
they all come back. It's like, I don't know, like a bee, pheromones. They just find their way back to the hive.
Treat them like cattle and shit.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
they got them like chipped and shit. Right? It's like
Yeah.
they keep tracks.
What
on
are you
them.
doing here?
They
Who ships
tagged
you
them.
to Alhambra? What are you going back
Oh,
here?
God.
Yeah, they were like, they're trying to clean it up because they're trying to make downtown Los Angeles look like Manhattan now. Because
Oh.
downtown LA has been abandoned for like, it's not like this.
What exactly is downtown LA?
Downtown LA is like where you see the buildings and the Staples Center and all that stuff.
Okay, all right.
That's pretty much been empty for years. They don't know what to do there. Because LA's so spread out, there is no one wants to live downtown. There's traffic. There's homeless people. So now they're trying to make it into like, this is an arts community. And
Oh God.
young people come here and the Lakers play here and the Clippers play here.
Bunch of
and
people from the middle of nowhere in America go to study abroad and downtown LA get trapped.
You know, USC and all this stuff, and they try and, you know,
Got you.
no more Mexicans here. It's just no blacks left too. It's like it's new age. That's kind of how
gentrification is everywhere.
Oh,
You
God.
can't escape it. Can't stop
downtown
it.
LA. Yeah.
What if could people could we initially switch?
What you mean?
We're just like, all right, white people, y'all take the coast, y'all figure it out.
Oh, we take Middle America?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where.
And get like
Wherever
mad
we
stuck in our
go,
ways?
Yeah.
They're gonna follow.
Oh, okay.
That's
what you think.
That's the way it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna be like, what's going on over here? Oh, they're having
Don't
fun.
worry about it,
yeah.
nigga. You
Yeah.
already got it. Y'all got
Yeah.
New York and San Fran.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Be good.
Fuck out of my face.
It's like I don't know what it is, like wherever the poor people go, then the artists go, because they're like, I need
Yeah.
some- and then the yuppies going like, oh, it's where the artists are,
It was like, oh, this is the cool place.
and then they
And then somebody
take it.
realizes all these white people here, we need to charge them way more because
yeah,
I
They
know
can afford
I know
it.
their parents is
Yeah.
cool.
they can afford it. They
Pops
can-
got that.
they-
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Wait,
10 minutes
you
from
wanna
now.
live next to these guys? Because yeah, he's painting. I don't know what this is. I like it, and then it charges them a lot. Then they get kicked out, and then a whole new wave comes in.
And shit just gets corny.
Corny.
Corny as hell after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how, what was it? It was right in the front of my head. Like it was a TV show. I was gonna link that to. Like yeah, it's just corny once they add in a bunch of characters. Smallville. You ever watch that?
I watched it up until the point where I think it was season 1. He flew. Remember, like he was in a
Ah.
tornado and he like flew,
Mm-hmm.
and
I-
then
I
after that
think-
he never flew again. I was like, man, fuck this shit.
It's just
They figure this shit out.
like later on they just like throwing like mad random characters in it. Like you ever watch Blue Mountain State?
Why do I know? It's like a football show.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, it was
they had
on
a dude
Spike.
play Aquaman
Yeah.
in there, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
out. Or
Jason Momoa was in it.
No.
nah.
This
was like for the TV. What about
I get what
Di-
you mean. Like we throw a bunch of people in. You're
yeah,
who the
like
fuck is this
because
guy.
Bow Wow was Brainiac in that show.
Bow Wow was Brainiac.
Yeah.
In Smallville. Yo, shout out to Bow Wow.
Shad Moss had a nice little career. Not
Brainiac.
he was Brainiac.
Shit.
He was yeah.
Why not Cyborg or like?
Wait,
'Cause
wait,
they
how
already
old
had
was
a
he?
black guy
was
playing
this,
Cyborg.
Was this post lottery ticket? What was that movie he did?
It might have been around that time.
Right around that
When
time.
he was making a push in acting.
when he
Yeah.
was doing roll bounce.
Roll bounce.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Whole figure skate or not figure skate. Yeah, Bow Wow is a figure skater.
Man, black
Yeah,
girls
yeah.
love Bow Wow though.
They do.
love
They
that
did.
little.
That
It was
nigga,
them
he,
and
he
Romeo,
looked
them
he
niggas.
looked young forever.
Yeah.
Romeo was kind of like just biting the little like rapper wave a little
Yeah.
bit.
We played basketball at USC.
You did?
Romeo.
Shit.
Damn son.
Yeah.
Yo, you remember? It was a nice little run. Those were like the forefathers of the SoundCloud rappers.
Think
All
so?
the littles.
Them little kids.
Lil Zane, Romeo, Bow Wow,
Yeah.
That the singer Sammy was. Remember him?
Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah, they-
he came back too. Apparently he came. He's like all old and shit.
I like it.
And it's like his name is
Girl.
still Sammy. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all right.
They all did that.
What's that one?
The title track to Hardball with Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
They shot G, baby.
Yo, that's the thing is, because Keanu Reeves has got a resurgence, and it's funny because I've been at dude's camp for years because I used to fuck with Bill and Ted, and I used to fuck with Matrix, and now like all these like Gen Z kids are figuring out about him, but it's like wait till you watch Hardball, wait till you see.
Because it was such a just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad of a movie because
It's not.
because literally a white dude from Chicago trying to figure out how to just handle a group of black kids from the South Side.
Michael B. Jordan's in that movie.
He is in
He
that
is.
movie.
Does he get shot in that one?
Nah.
Nah.
But he was a gangbanger though.
Yeah, he was the one
He
did-
quit.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
he was becoming a gangbanger. Yeah.
I mean, one of the kids got shot. And
Yeah, the youngest
G
one.
baby?
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
G baby.
G baby.
Sleep,
Rest in
sleeves and
peace.
shit,
Yeah.
The kid that they wouldn't let listen
Yeah.
to Biggie.
He was big when I was a kid in LA.
Biggie?
When they were having the East Coast West Coast war.
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty a fucking war. That's the first time I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Niggas actually like two niggas died from that shit. So it was pretty
Yeah.
pretty fucking
Biggie
bad.
got shot in LA. He got shot on Wilshire, which is like getting shot on like Broadway in New York.
For real?
He got shot in like one of the busiest streets
Shit.
in LA. Like, you know where people go to take those photos in front of all those light posts? I know
Yeah.
you've seen them, LACMA. He got shot like there. Like people were there all times of the night. It's like, how did he get shot? No one found out who that was. Which makes you go like, somebody was like, just erase this camera. Come on, let's let this go.
The early form of TMZ.
They
definitely had the tape. If them niggas had the tape of Solange fucking up Jay-Z in the elevator, they got so much. They got the tape with Donald Trump pissing on somebody.
Oh, I know it's there.
Absolutely,
it's
they
there.
have that shit.
They got
we can see everything. We can see it. We've had traffic cameras up for like at least 20, 30 years.
They got the
red light cameras.
They got the other
cameras,
angle of the JFK assassination.
Yeah. They got the different.
They got the other angle.
The director's cut.
See, it was him. He was in the hill. It
was actually his wife, Jackie Kennedy. If you look to her, she's pointing a gun right.
She had a KGB wrist pistol.
Nah, she just shot him.
She had that Django shit.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Cheat on me, nigga. All right. Let's see what happened.
Did, growing up in, like, that area, did you ever... Because obviously you were into... It looks like you were into, like, arts, like anime stuff. You said you got into films for a while.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever have to adjust any of that? Or were you just able to do most of that lifestyle?
No, I think because I know I'm gonna ask my mom. Like they all love Bruce Lee, so it's like just a continuation of like.
Isn't that
Bruce Lee? Like niggas love Bruce Lee. Like if you go to any old black person, they be like, hell yeah, we used to go see Bruce Lee movies. We used to go see for like that Blackula, because they'd always play like
all
the
in one afternoon
movies
for 50
with
cents
the blaxploitation.
With the blaxploitation.
Yeah.
So like,
isn't it? Don't you find it like kind of interesting that like we've always been tied to Asian culture?
That's why they got the Asiatic black man. It's really Asian people are black. They don't know that though.
Preach.
They are doing that, aren't they? Doing
Speak that truth.
That they're starting to greenlight that samurai movie about the first black samurai.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
and apparently it's like true. Like some 15th century text said that one of the first ones was like black or whatever, or there was a black shogun or something.
I just want to see the scene when he picks up the samurai sword and he's just staring at it. He just can't believe what he's looking at.
Then his eye like Ghost Dog and like all these other niggas that are like.
What's his name?
That is
Sako or some. He joined some lore though. I read that story too. Yeah.
Got you.
I think he's Haitian or Jamaican.
Yeah.
It's one of those that just sound too good to be true. Well, it's just like, come on, for real.
Well, they were amazed at how like big and strong he was. They were like, this nigga look like he can fight. Let's teach him how to fight. That's what it was. And they like.
He the first nigga to pick up 2 samurai swords.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there it was.
They just saw him reach something really high up, and they were like,
"He was the first Zoro. He had one in his mouth."
That's the first Zoro.
Chadwick Boseman is gonna play him. This nigga has played everybody.
Every important black person ever. First nigga get his license.
Everyone. Yeah. First nigga to have a lawnmower. Chadwick Boseman. What's he doing?
He gonna be playing the dude that been in the Super Soaker soon. Like he gonna. They do need to give it somebody that one. That's too. For him, he's like the more of like the new Denzel clean cut guy. I'd rather see like a Lakeith or somebody else.
I can see that
role versus him. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying like somebody else.
Who do we got? Who's the roster? Because obviously we got Chadwick, we got Michael B. Jordan,
McKeith.
Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield. Let's see. We count that black group from Moonlight. I don't know. I didn't see it all.
Chiron? You want
Chiron
Chiron to play the first black
Mahershala Ali?
Nigga was jerking people up. Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali, he's
He can handle a dick. He can handle a samurai. So
dog,
sure.
I just heard that movie was like supposed to be good.
Moonlight?
Like,
I turned it off. I'm not gonna lie.
I went to the movie theater with my aunt to go see that shit.
Oh really?
Yeah. So the whole time she thought I was gay.
Oh, because you went to go.
Because I was like, you want to go see this movie, and then it was like, next thing you know, this nigga just getting jerked off on the beaches of Miami.
Did you
and stuff.
not know going into it?
I didn't know it was that. Like
the preview doesn't warn you really. Like it's just like, oh, this is a coming up black story.
I don't even think it was that gay.
Like it wasn't. It was just. It was literally just the.
I was very bored.
Kind of was. It was different to just see that.
It was mad weird stuff too about it, where it was like Mahershala Ali was selling crack to his mom. And then, like, he was like, oh, I can't believe I'm selling crack to your mom. I'm like, nigga, you're a drug dealer. This is what you do. You sell crack to people's moms.
That's what you do.
Why are you feeling guilty about this?
Yeah, stay in the characters.
Yeah, it's like the worst writing ever.
Because he saw a little Chiron. That's why he felt bad.
Are you kidding me? Niggas will sell crack right in front. Like, I'm trying to sell crack to your mom, nigga. What are you doing?
Better go inside the house, little nigga.
That way. Actually, go out and play. Let me talk to your moms real quick for like 35, 45 minutes.
Sharon, your mother home?
Yeah, drug dealers are not like, this is wrong. What am I doing?
I don't know. Fucking 2 Chainz opened up about that shit a little bit. Well, now, like years ago, I don't know how he felt about it on his last album.
He was selling crack.
He was.
He didn't stop.
When he that one song where he was like, I think it's called I Said Me.
Yeah.
He's like, my daughter asked what a drug dealer was. I said me. I'm like, God damn.
Proudly.
Yeah.
Just stare that in the eye.
Yeah.
It's like me. I'm a drug dealer.
But you got to though. Like, cause imagine like you got that far, like you did all the wrong shit, and then somehow you did right shit, and now you got millions of dollars. It's like you gotta let your kids know. It's like, nah, like this ain't.
Kind of. I don't know.
Like you don't need to stay in this bubble, or at least I'm gonna let you know that there's something outside of it.
The most my father did, it was he told me and my brother, he was like, if I find out you smoking, I'm gonna fight you. And then he just made us watch Roots and this movie called Lockdown or Locked Up.
I saw Locked Up. Yeah.
Well, Master P was in that, and it was who else was in that? I think the nigga that played Stacy and
Roots was
The Wood.
written by a white guy.
What was?
Roots.
Really?
Alex Haley stole that from a white guy.
Oh shit.
Wait, what?
Alex Haley, the guy who wrote Roots.
The guy that said he did all the history and stuff like that?
He stole it from a white guy. Look it up. He stole it from some other dude.
Hey, we gotta get one.
Yeah.
I mean,
We gotta get.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm sorry to
we
bring
gotta
you guys down about
No,
that.
we gotta take
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Ain't no
yeah.
thing.
That's
Hey,
one of those that was just like, all right, cool.
Hey, I'll chalk it up on the board.
Yeah. Thank you, white man, for doing all that work.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
Down for the cause?
Thank you for learning
Yeah.
about your history.
You look him up. He dates sisters, and you're like, all right, cool. It's fine. It's cool.
The nigga, he related to Rachel Dolezal or some shit.
He was watching that shit on PBS smoking a blunt like, hey, I wrote that shit.
Wait, hey, hold up, nigga.
Baby.
Hold up.
Quit braiding my hair. Hold on a second.
Hold on. Stop.
Motherfucker stole
Get
my
my
shit.
man on the phone. Hold
Hey,
on.
yo, he was like, yo, if he named her Kizzy, I'm suing this nigga right now.
He took the foot scene too.
He took the
foot.
He took the foot scene. He put Malcolm X getting shot in the head. Son of a bitch. Damn.
Supposedly he didn't write that either, but I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah, actually. I don't know, man. I wasn't ever really a fan. It was just, I'm like, why are you making us watch this, man?
Well, just like these like
Roots, yeah, like
That's
before
like
that.
8 hours.
sad black
too, bro.
movies.
Yeah,
basically,
before
or
that,
just
he
like-
made us watch.
That's a miniseries. That's not
Yeah.
even a movie.
But it's like the
But you
episodes were
treat
like
it like
45
a movie.
minutes.
Yeah, you treat it like a movie. Yeah.
What you say?
The episodes like long as shit.
Yeah,
though.
they're like an hour 30
Yeah.
each episode.
But he like before that, he made us watch like Hotel Rwanda. I'm like, this shit.
He made you watch that?
Yeah, he was like, you didn't learn about your history. I'm like, I don't know these niggas. Was it
Hutus and Tutsis.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know
Yeah.
anything about it. It looked crazy as hell. It was like I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Dutch. That's what happened.
Rosewood.
Rose,
That
oh,
movie's
not
crazy.
no.
That movie
what-
is nuts.
what's
Ving
funny-
Rhames pulled himself
Ving Rhames-
off the lynch.
Off
He was like, can't kill this nigga.
Mr. Man.
Yo,
Two
how about
ropes.
my
Yeah.
younger cousins? They were how old were they at the time? Like 12 and 14.
Yeah.
They grandmother who was like 60. My great aunt. She heard them calling each other nigga and like she lost her shit. So my aunt who actually lived, I was living with my mother's sister. I was living down the street. Was just like, all right, come here. Like I'm gonna because your grandmother need to cool down, but I'm gonna just try to let you know. We knew they was just like.
Yeah.
That's just what y'all say, but y'all need to understand that. And they played the movie Rosewood for him. And it just wasn't. I'm like, this ain't doing it justice.
Yeah.
Right here, you gotta show something more.
You gotta watch.
Something more harsh.
Maybe they're just fans of Don Cheadle.
It's
It sounds
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Don Cheadle's in Rosewood and Hotel Rwanda.
You gotta watch.
See how far Don Cheadle has gone in his career.
Well, see, that was both sides of my family. That was both separate. So like, Hotel Rwanda was my father's side,
Yeah.
and then fucking that nigga been surviving,
Don
Don
Cheadle's been
Cheadle?
around
Don
for
Cheadle, yeah.
a minute.
and now he's been around forever. Thanks to Marvel. Thanks to Terrence Howard for being like, I
Appreciate
want more
you,
money.
Terrence. Yeah,
I
for
want
not-
more money than.
I was so mad when Terrence Howard did that shit.
It's like, that was
I was
that
like,
was
finally,
He's-
one light-skinned black guy. Finally.
But he had to pull a light skin move.
He
had
did.
to-
He's like, I want
Because
more money, man.
he knew where it was going.
I need more money,
Once
man.
he heard about that
he should've just
MCU,
rode it out.
nah, he wanted more money.
Long term, he'd have been fine.
Nigga, I'm DJ.
He
Come
could
on,
have
man.
done it. After 2, he could have done it. After 2, he could have been like, "Give me more money," because
Yeah.
at that point we'd have been invested.
Well, he had to wait. Like they all had to wait to get more money. Robert Downey Jr. was the only one getting paid.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're not getting paid, and Robert Downey Jr. was like, all right, you got to give them more money, or I'm gonna quit too.
My whole family was already invested. My grandmother was excited when when he looked at the suit and he was just like, next time, baby. Like she quoted that and she was like ready for it. Yeah, we were all ready for it. And then he was like, fuck that shit. And
he was on a roll too. He was doing. I mean, it was
Hustle and Flow.
He did Hustle and Flow.
He did that movie with Jodie Foster when he was a cop.
Yep.
The movie with Jodie.
Yeah.
Was it?
The brave one.
The brave one.
That was my shit.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was like, give me more money. And then Marvel was like, you don't understand. White people don't know who you are.
Because even before that, the Disney deal didn't even go through yet.
No, Disney hadn't bought them yet.
Got you.
No.
Yeah, it was. They still did it was like Marvel Studio shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Got you.
Iron Man was the first one of their whole plan to be like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He had to wait. He had to wait. And Don Cheadle just came in just like a black bastard and just was like, I'll do it for cheap. I need to work. Fuck Terrence Howard.
What, six movies later?
He did his. Not only was he doing those movies, he's like, I work for Showtime. Don Cheadle stays working. Yeah. It doesn't matter what. Don Cheadle
he was even doing online shit. He did the Captain Planet miniseries on Funny or Die, whatever.
How many of the Ocean's movies was he in?
All of them. He's in every single one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Playing a black British
I
guy.
think he's trying to come for Sam L's spot.
Nah, never. You can't.
It's hard.
It's hard. Never be able to replace
until he stopped. Because it's crazy to me that he's 70 years old and he's still just like, nah, I got another 200-300 movies left in me. I'm good.
Didn't he just do another Shaft?
He did another Shaft with the original Shaft and this new dude, apparently, which is cool. Like, it's supposed to be like a generational movie where it's like he's teaching his son to be the next Shaft. It's supposed to be kind of funny. Yeah.
All right.
Shaft doesn't work now because we got Black Panther. Like, when Shaft came out, they didn't have like.
Well, hold on now. There was one in between.
You talking about the one with?
Oh no! I'm just saying like just a black hero for
Pootie Tang, Dolomite,
Pootie Tang.
I'm trying to think of these black superheroes. Meteor Man? Is it Meteor Man? I'm trying to remember these black movies.
Come on, man.
You ain't like Blade?
Oh, Blade. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was like a huge movie. I
Come on, man.
My brother went to go see Blade.
Nigga, I was walking around in my underwear and some cowboy boots with a samurai sword on my t-shirt.
Yeah, I saw that movie. That was dope.
I wanted to be Blade so goddamn bad.
I think that was the first movie to have bullet time. Like before the Matrix
did it have bullet time?
I think they copied. Yeah.
Yeah.
What part?
If you look
time?
It up,
he shoots at the guy Steven Dorff, the Frost, and then Frost dodges it. It's only like one scene.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the 360 spin, but it has the thing where he shoots and then it slows and you see the bullets go through. Okay. And he moves.
There's a lot of stuff about it. People talk about how the Matrix, like the Wachowskis, took a lot of design from Blade because it came out like
a year before.
Just 1 year before, and like the idea, like the dark, seedy techno club scene shit, and they're just like, we're gonna do this aesthetic, but no vampires, and it's all about obviously the world not being real, but. Everybody talks about that. It's like, oh, yeah, you kind of took that from Blade, but nobody really knew. People knew about Blade, but it wasn't until Blade 2 and Trinity.
Blade was hot. Trinity was garbage.
It was garbage, but that was the one that was like, oh, this is the height of this like movie's popularity. Because 2, a lot of people liked 2.
And 2, Guillermo del Toro made 2.
Yeah. So it was funky. It was cool. I liked it.
The first one was was very gory. I watched that on bootleg with my father, and no 3-year-old should have been watching that. Well. The bad copy kind of censored it on its own, but yeah.
Would you? Was it?
Now I was like I watched it recently now, like in high def. Yeah, it's so much blood in that goddamn movie.
Yeah, Whistler. Well, you know they probably upped it up a little bit too.
Nigga, it's so much. Yeah. The fact that it was like that, I could clearly see it now that he stapled a dude to the wall and then set him on fire.
Yeah,
actually,
that was dope.
He set him.
Yeah.
Then he did the fucking because he shot one stake and he went to the wall.
Arms.
And then he shot another one. He's like,
yo.
He's like, I'm getting tired of chopping you up. I figure I'll saute you this time.
So Gerard he says he's done with the MCU
for now.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
he's taking a break.
Complete. It's just,
but I feel like when they finally decide, because apparently Wesley is trying to talk with them about doing a
Blade.
He's trying to do a Blade,
Word.
or at least they're talking about, because now they have all the property and stuff, and they're just like, all right, let's see what we can do with this.
Yeah.
And Wesley's like, I still want to do it. Like, I feel in shape. I feel fine. I want to do it.
He's still. What was the last action?
What would you want to see for it? Like, what would you? Because I don't even know how they'd even go about it, to be honest.
Because they
Old Blade.
in all three movies, they kind of summed it up. Like I remember the trailers for Trinity. They kind of summed it up. They was like, he killed their god. He killed their own creation that they couldn't stop, and so then he fought the last.
Dracula. That was Dracula.
If they were to, what is it, retcon?
Yeah.
The third one, and actually do like a proper like.
So
some
do it in
type of
reverse.
Dracula,
then creation, then a god.
I don't know. Like I'm not sure if Sony has it or.
Oh no, I don't want a whole nother Trinity. Like I just want. I
They're
don't want a whole trilogy. I just want one movie. That's it.
They're
That's it.
they're doing the Morbius movie, so it's like there's got to
They
be.
are?
Yeah, they're doing Morbius 100%. Jared Leto is gonna ruin Morbius. It's like he did the Joker.
Like he wasn't even that. Like I only know him from the cartoon.
The
but,
Spider-Man cartoon, yeah.
But he was. I mean, it was cool enough that it was like he's a vampire, but not exactly a vampire.
Sony has like they're like okay, they like these comic book movies, but like we don't have the main comic book characters, so it's like Venom. They're gonna try and hold on to the properties,
Yeah.
Right.
because they
And
don't
they're
want to
trying to
lose
do
X-Men like Fox did.
I got you.
Spider-Verse type shit or whatever. They're gonna do
Yeah, it's like it's
Venomverse.
in the world, but it's not. You're never gonna see Spider-Man. It's like that's all they can do.
That's how I felt about Venom the whole time. I'm like, I just wanted to see Spider-Man pop up.
You almost want Disney to buy all of it and just be like, let's
Yeah.
just all put them together.
I know
At
y'all
this
have
point,
the movie.
It's like,
I know y'all got the money.
It's too invested. Just do it.
It's
Just
like
go for it.
divorced parents. You're like, just come on.
Why y'all
Like,
bullshitting
Let
for?
us see him every
Yeah.
weekend, every other weekend.
You're hurting his family, okay?
You can mix Blade though with like Morbius or like they have all these other things that I didn't realize because I don't know. I watch the cartoons.
Yeah.
And I still do sometimes. Like when I get bored, I'll go on YouTube and watch these new like Spider-Man and Friends cartoons.
It's been like 3 or 4 of them that I don't. There's
I
too
didn't
much
like Ultimate
talking.
Spider-Man,
It.
but I did like Spectacular Spider-Man.
I heard that one's actually pretty good.
I like that. I watched the one. Remember there's one on MTV.
What's the name was
I watched that.
he was Peter Parker. Shit. Doogie Howser.
Yep.
Doogie.
Oh. Talking about,
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was about to call him Patrick
Yeah,
Stewart. Patrick
Eve
Stewart.
had a cameo in there too. Like she
Yep.
played the villain.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was like what 4 or 5 episodes. It was very short lived, but it was like actually
Yeah.
kind of cool.
She
Random
had a
as
little
hell.
Run. She was trying to do a little acting thing.
I want to see
Just trying to do a
fucking
little thing.
Batman Beyond. It's like the 20th anniversary of that.
Oh,
But
that's
how
what
you
come out?
how you gonna pull that off?
It's so easy. It's right there. Michael Keaton plays the old Batman, and you just get a young
There you
guy to
go.
play the new Batman.
There you go.
But I'm saying as far as like how it look, because they always going to just fuck it up. It's always so simple, and they just fuck it up somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's set in the future. You've already seen like cyberpunk movies, and it's like you just make it look like that. It's the exact same story. This guy's father gets killed, and then Batman teaches him how to be Batman.
They
And
could do
new villains, no Joker,
what's that movie?
You know they're gonna
Blade,
put
they could
the
do
Joker
basically
in
like
there.
Blade Runner style, but in a
Yeah.
But Batman.
Put a Batman
It's
skin on
like-
it. Yeah.
I would watch that rather than watch Robert Pattinson play Batman.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to. I've seen enough Batman. I'm like I want to see another
Robert
version.
Pattinson.
Yeah.
vampire
the
from
dude
Twilight?
From, Twilight.
He's gonna play
Oh
Batman.
yeah. That's,
Yeah.
So that's what you're saying. Like at a certain point, you get kind of like, all right, I'm tired of this. But when you saw, I don't know if you guys saw Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse, that was so different that
Yeah.
I was like, I'd watch another one of these.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is not just
Do you still read comic books?
now.
Yeah.
I haven't read them in a while. But
It's I've read the Spider one. That was like the only ones I was kind
Yeah.
of keeping up with. It was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. It's probably been longer that she's been out now. But it's like as soon as I heard the story, I'm like, that's interesting enough to get me into it. To what instead of Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy got bit by the spider.
yeah, it's something different.
Yeah,
You're
and
like,
then
all
like Peter got jealous with like he was envious of Spider Woman, and then he ends up being the
Venom?
lizard. No,
Oh,
he ends up being Lizard, and then she fights him. He ends up dying. So he's like the catalyst, and then it's not Uncle Ben. It ends up being Jonah Jameson. It gives like a whole speech. It's like Spider Woman's a menace, and she needs to know that with great power comes great responsibility.
And
They just flip it. They just
Yeah.
keep flipping it.
And
and
any
shit.
verse.
And I like that. There was that period of time, like right around when the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans came out,
Yeah.
and like everybody was so pissed off at superhero movies because they're like, it's not the source material. But it's like They always redo. There's always different universes. It's like y'all didn't mind the comic book doing a whole nother thing, but for some reason this movie wants to do whatever. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the Raimi Spider-Mans weren't like perfect, but
I like the second one a lot. I thought that was really
yeah, the
cool.
second one was dope. Yeah,
very
But
very chaotic.
my sister's boyfriend at the time was like mad nerd. He was like same deal, big black dude, did karate and shit. Nigga would come into the house with like a black belt on him, like you a nerd, such a nerd. But he said he walked out of. I remember we went to see the first Spider-Man and the second Spider-Man. He walked out of both of them because he was just so.
Why
like,
did he come back after he walked out the first one?
He's like, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna try it again.
See if they
I'ma
got
see-"
their act together.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I like both of them.
It was like a 5-year period where like heavy comic book nerds were like, we don't like these movies, and they're like, just let them be
without
fun.
these movies, they wouldn't have got to the Marvel what it is now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Because how far apart was Spider-Man from like Superman and all that shit?
Superman came out in the 70s.
Or maybe
you mean
the
like
last
the
Batman,
movies?
Maybe the last Batman movie that had came out around that time.
Well, because they were there was
Tim
there
Burton
was
Batman?
yeah,
there was,
those were like really the only 3 major like superhero movies
Yeah.
that got like.
But the
Tim
thing is,
Burton was
DC
89.
fans aren't DC. I don't feel like DC fans are as like judgmental.
Oh no,
It's
they
Marvel.
they're real super haters.
Yeah,
Nah,
did they
yeah.
not? Did they not like them?
Dog,
did they
it
not
was,
like
it was
the,
5 Batman movies.
Because I thought they liked the Tim Burton. Well, yeah, I know they didn't like the ones with the nipple Batman or whatever.
Val Kilmer.
Those were bad. but
Those are bad. Was it
George-
Schumacher or whatever?
George
Yeah.
Clooney was. He did 2 of them,
George
right?
Clooney did too, and he had the nipples. Yeah,
He was.
The
Don't
bat-
forget them nipples.
the
son.
bat nipples, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. George Clooney wasn't that bad of a Bruce Wayne.
He's just in a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I think, 89 was first Batman, and then 93 was Batman Returns. 93 or 94? 93, I think.
All those
Maybe
movies
92.
was stacked up, except for Val Kilmer one. I don't really remember too many.
That was
I don't
Batman
remember him that
Forever.
much. Yeah, I don't
That was
remember that.
awesome.
But they
one
were like
much.
just stacked up with just characters. Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, and George Clooney in a fucking movie together.
Batman 2 was the Returns was probably the reason why, because he did Penguin and then he did Catwoman, and they were like,
We just
it was
crammed
really
as many
good.
of these in.
And he
there.
had,
It was
and-
good. Yeah.
And he had Billy D. Williams playing.
Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seemed like you couldn't trust him already. Didn't it when he just came out? I love Gotham City. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh,
Glass-
political ass nigga.
Gotham City, Cloud City, I love them all. You're like, all right.
He had a Colt
Did he-
45.
Yeah.
Just pops up in the
Combing
frame.
his hair back, like in the middle of press conference.
Didn't he get shot? No, it was someone else that
No.
got shot during that scene, right?
When he came, no, he didn't get shot. They didn't set that up yet. I think, was he going to do a third one? I think he left. I think he just had too much trouble with Warner Brothers and he wanted to do something else. And that's when he's going to do Superman. And then that was the Nicolas Cage one. They were like,
Could could you imagine, before we even talk about Nicolas Cage as fucking Superman, could you imagine Billy D. Williams as Two-Face?
oh, that'd be hilarious. That'd be the best thing in
Yeah,
the world.
it'd be pretty. It'd be
Yeah.
pretty fun.
What do you
Because
mean?
the angry side would just be like black club owner in the 50s. Do you know what I mean? Like he would just pull his inner like
Where you going, Batman?
like
Nigga, what did I keep telling you?
the
No
ant-
goddamn jazz grass in the club.
he'd be the antagonist in like a Temptations movie. He's
All
just
right,
like,
nigga, look.
they ain't never coming to this establishment again.
If I flip this coin, he ain't out here in 10 seconds.
You ain't never gonna be nothing. And then just the other face like, yeah, It's like, we good. No, I don't know, man. Yeah, no, I think like it's you need both sides of that coin. You know, like you need like the people who are heavy into it, and then you need the people who are like, I don't know anything about this, so I need this thing to tell me that it's cool, and then maybe I'll go to a comic book shop. Like I don't mind it.
I think
you know?
movie studios though they go like, all right, if we make this movie, they can gripe all they want. They're gonna go see it.
Yeah.
Once we put out a trailer, they'll go see it.
Yeah, those first week sales
Yeah.
are going to be huge.
That's all they care about.
And
Yeah.
then they go, all right, so they're gonna go see it. What about the next generation after that? And then they go, okay, we need to make a new cartoon for this.
Mm-hmm.
So they made Batman in '89, and then they made Batman the new animated series,
Dope.
which is probably one of the greatest shows.
Yeah.
I
ever.
tried
So
to
dope.
go back
First
and
two
watch
seasons
it.
are like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I can't really do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
you
as
gotta
a-
watch it again.
As a kid,
Yeah.
I just enjoyed it because it was like Batman and then like random adventures. But it was like
Stories are so deep.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
It's
As a
different.
kid, it just went over my head
Have you watched it?
completely. I tried to watch a little bit of it. I just didn't.
I
really
will
sit
send
down
you
and try to
episodes.
watch it.
I maintain
By all
the
means,
best
please.
written- What's the one with Christopher Nolan? The Batman Begins.
The Dark Knight series or whatever.
The first
just
one
the
with the
first one,
Scarecrow.
Batman. Yeah.
That's an episode of Batman the animated series. That Scarecrow tries to poison the water supply, and Batman has to stop it. It's literally like they took stuff from the cartoon and was like, "Oh yeah, this will work." Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
What's his name? Mr. Freeze. He's a villain that they created out of the Harley Quinn.
That Freeze movie was
dope.
dope. It came out in '97. The Sub-Zero movie was dope.
Mr. Freeze is created from the show. He was never in a comic book.
Oh, I knew Harley was.
Harley Quinn, and I think Clayface too.
Really?
Yeah, Clayface is like another one. That the guys who wrote that show they still write now, but they're like consultants on shows. But they're like the best.
Whose roster of villains do you like better, Spider-Man or Batman?
Oh, Batman. Batman wins by far. Every one has a motivation pretty much other than the Joker. Like a clear
I got you.
Mr. Freeze wants to save his wife.
And it's almost justifiable in their own. Yeah.
Clayface was an actor who was getting ugly and like he wanted to make himself look better. Like the Mad Hatter, I don't know, I wouldn't count him. But
well, and they keep those movies
crazy.
in because they're like the whole like detective comic series where they keep them almost like a noir tale. Like it's not really like a It's not really like this guy is just in a vat of whatever radioactive and now he's evil. It's like no, these people are like if you take the superhero part out of it, like it would just be a detective fighting like deranged people.
Because
like
Batman's not a superhero. Really.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have power. He was just a normal guy, and then something happened, and it flipped on him.
Actually, I do remember one episode when a nigga went blind.
Who Batman? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something. I think they were at like some air show. Something
and they
went
played
on.
on some bat shit where they had some sonar for him or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he gets into the limo. He's like, Alfred, don't tell anybody. He's like, what, sir? He's like, Dad, I'm blind. And then the shit just goes to commercial, and then he comes back. Like he does like some. I think he fought like Payne in that episode. Yeah, like reverts to his training or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it was like I just watched that because it was Batman, but I was more interested in like kind of.
I will send you. I promise you.
More obvious shit. Go, send me some shit.
That
I'll
Joker,
torrent the shit out
Mark
of it.
Hamill as the Joker.
It's fucking
That's
insane.
the best.
My shit was when one episode is when Joker was depressed and Harley actually captured Batman for him.
I remember that.
He got mad
And slapped her
just,
up.
Just what? Just
Yeah.
backhanded the shit out of her. I was like, God damn.
My favorite one.
Did I tell you?
It's such a genius episode. It's all the villains hanging out, and it's called I Almost Had Him. And they all talk about how they almost caught Batman. It's like the Croc, Joker, Poison Ivy. I think Poison Ivy might have been created for sure. I'm not sure. But Poison Ivy. And they're all sitting around the table playing like poker with each other. Talking about how they almost caught Batman. It's like
almost got that nigga.
4 stories. And you're like, who would think of that? Just 4 villains hanging out like, yeah, I almost caught that motherfucker.
I think like that with like just like people now, like creators and stuff like people in it.
Now.
Like as far as it's a like the way you saying that was just like almost gone like they kind of like shit talking, just hanging out and shit. I think that way about two anime creators, Akira Toriyama and Ichiro Oda, the guy that created Dragon Ball Z, and the guy that created One Piece.
Yeah.
Whereas like the guy that created One Piece, Ichiro, I think it's always stated when you're looking up his background that he was like a huge Dragon Ball Z fan.
Yeah.
And you could see that all over One Piece with just how he kind of present. How far did you ever get in Dragon Ball Z?
I got to the end of the Majin Buu saga.
So you know how with Frieza and like Namek and stuff?
Yeah.
It was they get to Namek, they see the locals.
Yeah.
Then there's the Ginyu Force, and then it's Frieza.
Yeah.
In One Piece, every single arc, there's a Ginyu Force, there's a Frieza.
Oh, there's like another.
Yeah, so there's always the group of bad people, but then there's the main.
And that show in general, it kind of did write the book for a while. I think Naruto probably like mix it up a little bit, but for a while they wrote it in that like sense of like, all right, there's the Bane bad, and then there's these dudes underneath, because they did it with Bleach too. Where it's like there's a group of people who are below this dude who are also badasses in their own right, but then
minions.
You gotta fight the thing,
And it's always like a different. They always had unique powers, and it was always a different way they got beat. It wasn't always the same setup. There was always different circumstances and stuff. But I feel like those two guys literally sit around and shit talk with each other because like they both have like series out now. Dragon Ball Super is out, the manga's out, and then One Piece is still going strong. And I feel like they really do be like.
I think about that. They probably do go to like conventions or some shit together.
No, I'm talking about in personal time. They be like lighting up cigars and some shit. Like, they go to karaoke.
Yeah.
So they go to karaoke. We should talk like, nigga, watch what happens in 60
Nigga, you
episodes.
racist.
No, that's what they do.
Japanese people just hang out at karaoke. No, that's funny. No, I
That's
like
what
that.
that's what that.
I
Them
like
niggas
that
be
that's
jet.
the-
They put
yeah.
that in anime and shit.
Yeah.
Niggas just go and like, because it look kind of lit.
They love karaoke.
That you go get a room
Yeah.
where you and your people get fucked up
And just have karaoke.
and just karaoke for hours.
Yeah.
Hours at a time. It look like
It looks-
mad. It look like mad fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that definitely was ignorant as hell. But that's all I know about fucking Japanese people, man. When I get over there, that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Going on Craigslist.
Just going to
See,
karaoke.
yeah. Could go rent out a family, but like we're having karaoke night tonight, and
Yeah,
we're
we're trying
going.
to do a Japan thing. You ever been to Japan?
I've never been to Japan. No.
That's on the list. That's on the list.
Hell
Gotta
yeah,
go.
dog.
You
Gotta
know,
go before I
Gotta
leave.
do it.
What
Gotta
did
do
you
it.
watch? What did you watch when you growing
was a
up?
kid?
Yeah, because we talked about this before, and we had the same channels. We all had the same channels: UPN,
Yeah.
ABC,
Mhm.
Fox, WB. They all had kids blocks.
Yeah.
Afternoon and Saturday morning cartoons.
I remember watching those. Like everyone watched those on Saturday, but I remember what I think I didn't get till I got older. They were on. I watched them as a kid, but I didn't understand them. Was Ghost in the Shell and Akira. They both Ghost in the Shell came on Stars. I don't know
Mhm.
why. It just came on Stars at night, and I was like, oh, I was trying to see titties.
Hell yeah.
And then I watched Ghost in the Shell.
Hotel Erotica.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was trying to watch, Hollywood sexcapades.
Yeah.
Cat house shit. or
Yeah,
whatever.
and-
Cat House is weird.
They had that, and
It was titties though.
it was like weird. It was like animation really popped up. They let Spawn be on HBO. Everybody was trying animation.
Yeah.
Spawn. They had
Yeah.
a Mortal Kombat
Mortal
TV
Kombat.
cartoon show. That
Everybody was like, we got to get in this animation game because
Mm-hmm.
this shit is killing. And I remember Akira popping up again on like IFC or something.
was.
And I remember seeing that going like, this shit looks so different. But then I would fall asleep because it would come on like 12 o'clock at night.
It was long, and then it was like a lot of like it was the actual movie. It wasn't like a cartoon for kids.
But they would replay it like over and
Really?
over. They would replay it like every Friday at 12 o'clock because they're like, all right, what else we going to show? Just show Akira.
Oh, so they've been on that.
Princess Mononoke?
Mononoke.
Mononoke.
Yeah.
That was the
heavy.
Was this
only-
before Adult Swim?
This was before Adult Swim. This was like
Oh.
94.
But they would always put whatever like anime block, they would put it at late night for some reason. I
Yeah.
feel like that was the
It
move.
worked.
Yeah, 100%.
And I part of me thinks it might have been. I mean, I don't know if they went that far to think about like time differences, but it's just like over there, it's you know what I'm saying. Like over there, it's like morning over there, or it's like midday for there. So like
Oh, you
the
think-
Japanese block is like for them.
I think they just were like, all right, we don't have to take a risk. Let's just buy up something that's
Let's
like
fill up the space.
yeah, like Ghost in the Shell was already popping over there, and they're like, all right, let's just buy it, the dub version, and then let's just put it out over here and put it on at 12 o'clock at night, and we own it for like, pennies on the dollar, and we just keep showing it.
Little did they know,
That shit
And then it
blew
blows up.
little
They
black
trying-
boys was sitting at midnight when they were supposed to be in bed.
Yeah, I was watching. Fuck.
Well, I was watching. I was too busy watching like Jackass and shit.
Yeah.
At those hours, like.
But
when it
even
came
then,
out.
though,
Yeah.
you would surf the.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd stay
Yeah.
up late. You'd watch Jackass.
Yeah, it was the most like
You'd watch-
ill shit that
You
was
watch
on
that
TV.
little
Street Fighter 2 or the movie. You watched that movie?
Street Fighter movies.
That
yeah.
was a good movie.
Ninja Scroll that would pop up occasionally.
You ever see the live action Street Fighter?
Yeah, I went to see that in theaters. That was bad.
Really?
That was really bad. Yeah, I
Oh
saw that
my
in theaters.
God,
Mhm.
Jean Claude
The
Van
Van
Damme
Damme?
playing an
He was on
American
cocaine.
soldier.
Yeah.
He was on cocaine, really. He was heavy on cocaine, bro.
You could tell.
Yeah, you could tell.
He
He was like, yes, you're going to get it, Bison. And like, all right, can you turn towards it that way? He's like, yeah. That was it. That was the
That
downfall
nigga was hitting
of Van
sonic
Damme.
booms on them lines of coke until he takes his shit.
He fucked that. That was a bad movie.
Flash kicks and shit.
What about Mortal Kombat?
Oh, yeah, that was the biggest video game of like, because they went from
Well, like in
that
the movie
to the
for that.
movie.
Yeah,
I
the
saw the
movie-
movie
yeah,
for
the
that
mo-
too.
yeah.
That was like huge.
You remember the TV show?
I remember the TV show, the cartoon, right? You talking about that?
No, live action.
Oh yeah, that came on Channel 13, but it wasn't Liu Kang. It was the guy that threw the hat, like Kung Lao, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what channel was that it came on? For you?
UPN. That was still
You-
Channel 13.
God damn.
Yeah, UPN had a lot of stuff. They had Pokemon. That
UPN. See,
UPN.
Yeah,
Shit, there
see,
you go.
like,
There they go.
over here, WB had Pokemon.
Mhm.
WB got it after UPN. I promise you, it's just like
Oh,
Dragon
so
Ball Z.
you seen all the shit before it really
got-
got into like the main market of
yeah,
shit.
like Family Guy was on Fox. Then it went to Adult Swim because Fox was like, we canceling this shit. We don't want
They
it.
canceled so much shit.
Then they
Fox
brought it
original
back.
Netflix, yeah.
So it was the same thing with the cartoons where it was like, first they had Pokemon, and then UPN was like, WB was like, we'll buy it. And then they bought it, and then that's where that came on. CBS had Dragon Ball Z, and then Cartoon Network bought it. And then they were like, we run cartoons all the time. Let's just run Dragon Ball Z all the time. And eventually, these kids will catch on.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, we want to watch more of this. How can we get more of this?
More. They had, I remember they,
And they just pay actors to redub it. You know how cheap that is?
Yeah.
so-
They didn't even draw it.
And they'll have them in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Or like it's freaking like
They just
They-
redub it.
I remember they swindled. They got me and my brother. They announced Toonami was gonna be on Kids WB throughout the week from like 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was just like the first time they did it. It was like, oh, here's Dragon Ball Z, and then never again. They never showed that shit. I was like, yo, fuck you.
Mm.
So mad because we ain't had cable at the time, so there was no way I could see
Yeah.
that shit ever.
Fox had One Piece, Ultimate Muscle.
Yeah, that was like the last leg of Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they tried doing a live action Kamen Rider, which was
Mm.
Fox had
Terrible.
Ultraman. for a little bit,
Ultraman, Ultimate Muscle, One Piece,
Power Rangers. which
Ninja
is another
Turtles.
Jap-
Fox
Ninja
Box?
Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teenage Ninja
But Fox always
Yeah.
did their own like American cartoons.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
rarely ever were like, well, let's get a lot of Japanese cartoons.
Yeah.
They would pull some random shit. Like they had one where it was like
The
Was-
food one.
fighting food on.
I remember that.
Fighting Foodons and
Yeah.
Captain
Battle-
Mikey.
that-
BattleBots.
Those two
Something
were-
like that.
yeah.
They had,
Yeah.
but then they had like the real serious one of some shit called like Escaflowne. It was like
I remember that.
if it was
That's
medieval,
funny. Yeah,
And
but
then-
they
I
had
remember that.
giant robots.
Correct me if I'm
NASCAR
wrong.
racers.
They
Oh,
did.
nigga,
I remember
what?
that, yeah.
Yeah.
NASCAR racers.
What are you about to say?
No.
NASCAR
This is
racers. It's like,
They had one black dude.
Yeah.
And that
He
nigga
could
had
fly, right?
PTSD.
yeah, I was in the air. I was in the Air Force.
His car was souped
Yeah.
up to take off like a jet,
Yeah.
but as soon as he got 2 feet off the ground, this nigga get the nervous sweat. Oh, I'm hitting the jack, man. Like,
These flashbacks, people call him nigger.
you can't, niggers
I'm gonna get pulled over.
That nigga
Yeah.
walk into a saloon and just have starting flashbacks. And shit. It was so stupid. That was a wild ass show. They had a Latino
NASCAR.
driver too. Very diverse
Latinos.
TV show.
Yep.
Yeah.
His car just kind of went like this. It just like, it didn't even really get off the ground. It just went like that. It was like, oh shit,
They
I
gave-
can slide in here.
They gave him jet boost when he could just give him hydraulics and shit.
Yeah.
That's how they tried to sneak it in there.
I think his
I
name was
remember
like
that.
Joker or some shit.
If he, I
Yeah.
bet if we watch the episode, he had a specialty horn. I
It's-
guarantee.
You know what he did do? He was always trying to fuck. He was always trying to fuck. He's like, what's up, my B? He's like, me amor, I want to touch you. He's like, all right, chill, bro. Like, damn.
Fucking
Yeah.
NASCAR
Always
racers,
fuck.
man.
No,
Damn, son.
Oh. no. I was saying. So correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Didn't Fox? Because Digimon and like Shaman King and
Digimon.
all those were all
Fox.
Fox, right?
They
They
would.
bought
They
them,
would.
yeah.
They did the animation for those, correct? Or
Nah,
No,
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 those
no,
were
no.
those are Japan.
Did they do
Those
It
Japan?
was all Japan because it was.
Fox
It was cool.
late. They were like, watching how everything else was blowing up, and they were like,
Yeah.
That was my main go-to.
fuck, we
The
own
Shaman
them.
King was my shit, and Card Captors. That was like, because it was always sandwiched in between. So I was like, I'll watch this shit. But
I
then it
thought-
was like, it kind of gave me Sailor Moon vibes. So I was like, all right.
Yeah,
Sailor
like it
Moon.
was.
Because I liked Sailor Moon. A
I
lot.
watched it. I watched it to
Ronin
pass the
Warriors.
time.
Ronin Warriors and Sailor Moon was like the shit. Dude.
Hell yeah, dog.
I think Gundam was my favorite one. I was
Gundam
like,
Wing. Yeah.
Which
Gundam.
Gundam?
0079.
007.
Oh, I can't.
Amuro Ray.
The real
Yeah,
like
I was a Wing
wartime. The
He's
wartime.
a new
and shit.
type. A little.
Nah, nigga, I like G Gundam just
G?
straight to
Oh,
the
they were
point.
fighting?
Hell yeah.
It was like you had to fight the
Yeah.
Asa. Like everyone had a car.
Yeah, this
that
nigga-
was good.
I was wing. I
there
was
was
in that
a-
heavy space shit, but they were just
Shenlong
sitting like
Gundam.
on some like Star Trek shit.
Gundam Wing.
Gundam Wing. Yeah, that
Gundam
was-
Wing was probably the best.
G
the height of
Gundam-
the series.
Yeah.
It was all tournament based. These niggas had an actual like.
G Gundam where
rope.
they had the
They had a
ones from
rope
another
around
country,
the planet
right?
Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It
had
was a
like the
fighting
green side
tournament.
Earth.
Tried to put them together.
And
I remember
he-
the Russian one. That was the
Oh, the
he had
boat Gundam.
Yeah, the boat Gundam.
He was
yeah.
a prisoner.
Yeah.
It was an episode where he was like, oh, I gotta be in Neo Japan. I'm all the way in Neo South America. I don't know. So he goes all the way into space and then pulls himself back on the ring ropes that's going around the entire planet Earth, and then slingshots down there to make it in town. I'm like, ain't this some shit? But god damn it, I love this
Yeah.
goddamn shit. Guess what? Oh yeah, that show was kind of, it was goofy because they just took whatever stereotype kind of was from that country, and that's what your Gundam was.
I'm pretty sure there was wasn't there a Gundam with a sombrero, or am I?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Mexican Gundam.
Yeah, the Mexican
Gundam.
Yeah, that was Mexican Gundam. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was like, all right, yeah, just making sure.
Neo Greece was Zeus. Guess what Neo Africa was? Guess.
The Zulu warrior.
Guess what it was called? That's what it looked like.
That's
what it looked like.
What
But
was
guess what
Shaka Zulu?
Nope.
No.
Gundam. It was the Zebra Gundam.
This
Zebra Gundam.
couldn't even get a nigga a lion. Gotta be the thing that's just like that's prey.
They had
Zebra
because they had Dragon Gundam for China.
Yeah.
Some shit called Rose.
They gave us zebra though.
He wasn't even that important.
Better
of it.
than Monkey Gundam. Would have hated that one.
I think it was like Neo Nepal was like a bell. Neo Holland was a giant windmill.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like dumb shit. It was like a mermaid Gundam.
Did you ever fuck with Robotech?
No,
I
it
like
looked
Robotech.
cool
I
though.
like
It looked cool.
Robotech a lot.
Anything with robots, I
Yeah.
fuck with it.
Ultron,
Yeah.
I
all
got that from my
shit.
father.
Yeah. Well, because you grew up, you watched a lot of
Transformers. Was
well, you
my
did
shit.
Transformers and then you did Power Rangers a lot. So
Hell
I
yeah,
could see
dog.
why that. For me, it was like anything big worked because I loved Godzilla movies. Kaiju's was dope.
Mm.
And then they had Ultraman, and then they had like obviously I got into Gundam, but it was like for me before I started watching like Dragon Ball or anything like that, I was all about the big robot ones. Give
You
me
gotta-
robots or give me big monsters. One of the two.
I don't know, like before.
I was late in the game for.
I mean, we
for,
are.
like Dragon Ball.
We're late, like in terms of like anime. Like
Yeah.
I know the anime I watched as a kid that like my parents watched as a kid was Speed Racer,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's shit like that as you don't even.
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy, Kimba the White Lion, which
Kimba.
Lion King ripped
Stole,
off.
yep.
Yeah.
You didn't even realize like this shit was anime.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing about it. You didn't even realize the shit was anime. Transformers was
Ha-ha.
American based, but it was like, but it was illustrated in Japan. Like
Yep.
a bunch of that shit was.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even realize like all this stuff was that. Yeah.
It's funny, like a lot of and even people who don't even like it that much, they'll still like I'll throw out like a lot of people who watched like Spirited Away or like the Studio Ghibli films. Like it was like, oh, I liked Kiki's Delivery Service. I was like, yeah, that's an anime. It's like that's an anime. I thought it was just a cartoon. I was like, nope.
It's an anime. You
Nope.
can tell by the animation style.
Yeah, like nope.
Yeah, man. It looked too clean.
Yeah,
It was
it's
too
too clean.
good.
Mhm.
Definitely watching Saturday morning cartoons. There was a clear difference between American made and then like
Yeah.
Japanese.
You saw that
made.
shit, you're like, ooh, this looks dope.
It
Like,
did, yeah, it was because like literally going from Digimon to something like the there was an Evolution cartoon.
Evolution cartoon.
You remember
Oh, there was the movie
Yeah.
Evolution. Yeah.
the shit
Digimon
had
Evolution?
no. Remember the movie Evolution?
Yeah. Oh
With
yeah,
Dave
yeah,
Duchovny,
yes,
they did-
with
they did
Orlando
that.
Jones. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Orlando
Yeah.
Jones in it. The dude from
Not Neil Patrick.
From,
X Files.
Sean-
yeah,
It's
David
on David
Duchovny.
Duchovny and
Dog,
then
I was
Sean
trying
Patrick.
to tell.
Well, no,
What's his name?
the dude Stifler. What's his name? Sean.
William Scott
Sean
or Sean
William Scott.
Astin Scott.
Sean
He was in
whatever
it?
Yeah.
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 Stifler.
You remember? I was trying to tell him. He doesn't remember it. They did a crossover with X Files and Cops.
Yeah, that was the best
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, I
You know who wrote that episode?
I never saw. I never
Bro.
saw this.
That's my favorite episode. Vince
Of
Gilligan wrote
Cops or
that.
of X Files?
The guy who wrote Breaking Bad wrote that episode.
Get out.
Vince Gilligan wrote
Cops
it.
or X Files?
I gotta see
It was
it's
a
probably on
crossover,
YouTube, right?
but it was an X Files episode, and
think it's
it's
on
called
YouTube?
Fear Itself. You can watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's called
anyway.
Fear Itself, and it's
That's-
about whatever you fear comes to life.
That was like one of the early on, like just camera just going, people just running around
Yeah.
and shit like
He
that.
Yeah.
wrote some of the best episodes. He wrote that, and he wrote another one with Bryan Cranston called Speed. He's like, I've loved the X Files, like, cause that was just some shit you turn on. They have some crazy episodes.
Yeah, I know they did one where they basically did like a rip of The Thing, but I loved it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I love that
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, yeah.
When they do their episodes based off of other movies, they were always like great.
Yeah.
Like they did one based off of like Frankenstein. They did one based off of this Japanese movie Rashomon, which is good. X Files is one of the best shows.
I couldn't fuck with it as a kid.
I
Just
like
look at
them.
the
I
ones
never
Vince
fucked with
Gilligan
the
wrote.
movies
Alright.
though. I never really. I
No,
wish
the
I
movie
did.
sucked,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wish I could, but I was just like, I like seeing these in a condensed 45-minute thing.
Story are great.
The idea of whatever 2 hours. I couldn't see David Duchovny for 2 hours. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
just the monotone, dead in the face.
Yeah, he's like
What do
stay
you
on
mean,
TV,
Scully?
my bro.
Maybe these things are really happening. All right, just get
You
on.
just got a
man.
TV face. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I can't watch
She
you.
was like, "Oh, I gotta carry the whole episode."
You
Yeah.
gotta watch those, man.
She
the
was
Vince
bad.
Gilligan
I'll check.
episodes.
I'll check it out. I don't know. It's a lot of shit that like I'm aware of.
You
I
like
just
Breaking Bad?
wasn't really in it. Yeah, that was my shit.
He's just as good a writer, I'm telling you, on the X-Files.
Breaking Bad. I remember I watched the last episode with my old roommate. It was like I had just moved back to North Carolina and he was just finishing up. I had watched the last episode. I'm like, huh, this is interesting. And so I watched it thinking like, oh, I kind of know how it ends. He's like, no, you haven't seen everything to even explain all of this shit.
So when you watch the X-Files, you go like, oh, now I see Breaking Bad. When you watch it, you go like, oh, I get how he learned how to do this. When you watch the X-Files, you go like, this is a lot like Breaking Bad.
Did Bryan Cranston help write the episodes too?
No.
For X-Files or no?
No. He's in like one of the ones with Vince Gilligan.
He's somebody else that's been on for a minute too.
That was Fox, right?
That was Fox.
Yeah, so like cuz he was on Malcolm in the Middle a lot, and a lot of times I noticed that like the networks, they would kind of like
use an actor,
because NBC does it all the time. They're notorious for like putting a bunch of different people who like normally work in NBC in the TV shows and shit like that.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, Brian was doing Malcolm in the Middle, which was on fire. That was like the hottest shit in the country for like a minute.
Malcolm in the Middle was a really good show.
It was so good that Frankie Muniz was done. He did that in 2 movies and like, I'm good.
Cash the fuck out.
Yeah.
It was
he became a musician.
That's like 10 years though. He did Malcolm in the Middle. That's a long time.
This nigga he just became a musician. He did Cody Banks and Check movie or whatever. Big Fat Liar. That's what it is, yeah. And then it's like, I'm good. I'm good, bro.
Damn. How long was he? Because he was a kid when he was on that show.
He was a kid too, like a teenager.
I think when he left, he was like 20.
Yeah.
Damn.
He just stayed looking young the whole entire time though.
Yeah.
I just fucked with it because I was like, oh, this is just a mad. I'm like, oh, this is my house. This is crazy. A bunch of people live here.
Yeah.
Nobody
Fox
really likes each other.
Very middle.
They
did
America. Very disgruntled families. Well, they married with children.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like families like they're a family, but then they're like, I love you. They're like, ah. Then they had the other show where the bunny could talk.
No.
Happily Ever After.
He would go into like the basement.
Yeah, he would talk to that bunny.
I remember. Yeah,
it's basically Married with Children, but with a bunny.
He would like escape, and it was just a puppet. That one, I vaguely remember that one. Because I almost said Greg the Bunny, but that's not it.
Yeah,
that was years
Greg
later.
the Bunny.
That was years later.
That was that year of like Cousin Skeeter and all those like let's put puppets
Skeeter.
into. Once they see it's popular, they go like, let's copy.
They tried to bring that shit back with that Happy Time Murders.
If you Happy Time Murders, I think they went a step too far with. Do y'all remember Dinosaurs?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. The baby hit him in the head.
I can't believe that the entire show was just puppets. Like,
it's pretty well done.
It was pretty well done, but it was just like I realized I think that show kind of gave me nightmares a little bit. It was just a little off. Something about it.
It was too for that time. It was too well done.
That little nigga.
Because it was the Ninja Turtles movie was the same way. When like I found out when I was like, oh, all that was animatronic.
That shit was so dope.
I love that though. First one is still the best. Still the GOAT. Damn, I lost the side. Then it is gone.
I can get it back.
Nope.
It's emotional as when they was all just chilling, it was just like, yeah, Rap's probably just somewhere. That nigga just come falling out the fucking sky like, oh shit.
I love that movie. That was a great movie.
Oh, no more?
Good
answer. Good answer. And then them niggas jumped the shit out of him.
Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Just ends up killing the shit. Oops. It just oops.
This nigga was macking. He's like, who is the bait? Niggas stayed macking. Yo, he was cool. That dude, I can't remember his name, but that actor, he was cool. I liked him in that.
I think he's like on House of Cards now.
Really?
Yeah, he was on House of Cards.
He's had like a long career.
Yeah.
And he came out for the third one. I think.
Yeah.
Turtles in Time?
Yeah. Was it the same Casey Jones?
It was the same Casey Jones because he wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, because he was teaching the samurais how to play hockey.
They neutered the movie in the second one. I liked the second one as a kid. I hate it now.
That's the Ooze, right?
Yeah.
You don't like the second one?
I don't like it because they neutered. When the first one came out, apparently it came out in 1990. I wasn't even born yet, but apparently that movie got a lot of backlash. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid. Got a lot of backlash for being too violent.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah. So then they literally neutered it in the second one. They don't. You notice they don't ever use weapons. They got a bunch of. They got instead of Casey Jones, they got this little
Keto.
They had Keto. Fucking Vanilla Ice was in that bitch.
Go Ninja.
But
it was fun, but it was way too like.
They overthought it because like I mean
gritty.
I don't know, man. They said they did that with the 90s cartoon Spider-Man. I didn't find out until later, but it was like he does not.
He has lasers.
Yeah, he doesn't land a single blow on anybody. It's all web shooting. He webs them up or he throws something out
And
or
they
some
shoot
shit like
lasers.
that.
Can't be guns.
Don't do it.
I don't know. It's
Another reason
Don't
Batman
pull
was great. Real guns.
Real guns. They did do real guns in Batman. Yeah.
People died.
People died. That Two-Face episode was dope.
like the origins of them.
Huh?
Was it
Yeah,
originals?
in the animated, that Two-Face. I still have that one on like a. You're talking about how you have like the recorded TV blocks on like VHS. I had one of that, and it was like a whole Cartoon Network block. But that episode I watched so many times.
I'm gonna find a VHS player, and we're gonna sit and watch these old VHS tapes I got.
I think my grandmother still has a bunch of them.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Me and
Or
my
either
brother.
my grandmother or my sister has like a bunch of them. I have a VCR actually.
Oh, bring that shit over
yeah,
there. Me and my brother used to record. We don't got any of like our original ones from like the 90s and like early 2000s.
We'll add to the aesthetic. Well, this show is growing.
We used to just record just mad like primetime TV shit like Simpsons or the stuff and just record it and just have like solid 2.5 hours of just episodes.
My sister would record HBO. We just we would record the
movies. That's how I had Ninja Turtles 1 and 2 because somebody recorded that off of like Showtime. somebody just stole that. They took that and it was, I want to say Batman Returns. They just recorded it off of like Showtime and HBO.
I love Batman Returns.
Just sit and watch them blocks, man.
All right.
The video games, all of it.
Say what?
The Batman Returns, like they would make the video games for Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
So fucking hard.
Side scroll. Yeah, it was the hardest game. It's still to this day.
It's like Ninja Gaiden, but with Batman. Yeah.
It's like,
you use like wall
one
bounce
frame.
I
can't even turn around. It's like, how are they coming behind me too?
Yeah.
And you got to keep moving.
Figure it out, nigga. Throw a batarang. You only got 5 of them.
Fuck you, Konami. Shit was hard.
Shit was hard.
Now you're an adult. It's still hard.
Replay value, baby. That's all it was.
I don't know. Those were like repetition because I was playing I bought Streets of Rage 2 for my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that game's great.
And I got the furthest I ever got was like to the final boss, and I just
gave up. Fuck it.
I couldn't do it because I only had by that point I had used like the
whole
like
battery.
continues and shit.
Yeah.
That's where you go up the tower, right?
Yeah.
And then you finally fight.
And then I had like 2 lives left, and I was like, I can't beat this nigga. And so I just stopped after that.
You ever play this game, Metal Slug?
Oh,
was that at every laundromat?
Metal Slug was the shit. It was
like
everyone Metal Slug and Dig Dug.
Gallagher,
yeah.
I love
Metal Slug was the shit, bro. Metal Slug X, where you got to change between the 4 characters.
Why isn't that on your phone?
It used to be. It used to be like. It used to be one of the games you could buy like in the old Razor. Like
the licensing changes because I had bought Simpsons Arcade and
that was a great game.
The Turtles arcade game like years ago.
That was a good game too.
From Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And I don't have it anymore because Konami, like the licensing for some shit while Xbox having it, it went away. So I'm out $20. Thanks a lot.
Damn.
I can't play those games anymore. Yeah. Nope. So I'm always hesitant about like the super old shit nowadays. So.
Just need to rig a cabinet and get one with like the emulator basically on it. And get a bunch of shit.
I'm down to ball out on one.
I'd do it.
I get some money.
Get
emulator on your computer.
Yeah,
but
I mean just like to have the actual cabinet, like the actual like the arcade, just to be that nigga.
Yeah, dog.
That's the extra. Yeah, I'd be down.
Well, any closing
thoughts?
Closing thoughts.
You we covered a lot, man. This is a good hang, bro. This is
watch Batman the animated series.
Yeah, you send us some homework for real, cause we about to.
I can tell you the ones right now. The one with Clayface.
Okay.
That's one of the best episodes.
Okay.
Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
I would have got him, which is like one of the greatest things ever. And then watch Batman. Batman Beyond? That show is such an underrated show.
Beyond was good.
Batman Beyond is one of the best shows.
That shit got a premiere on like primetime WB.
Yeah,
I had to add as one kind of stay up late to watch that shit.
Yeah,
it's one of the best things ever.
Hell yeah, dog.
And then Batman, what's the one? The comic, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. That was a good one too. You ever read that?
I don't think
I watched it.
Is that the one with the?
It's with the older Batman.
Yeah, old Batman. Yeah, that
they
one.
did 2 movies on it like 5 years ago, and it's literally panel by panel. It's exactly
the same thing.
The comic book. It's so 50-year-old Batman just getting out of retirement.
World's Finest. You guys ever watch that?
Was it?
Where Superman and Batman. You ever seen that?
World's Finest.
World's Finest.
Yeah, it's like the Joker goes to Metropolis and.
Was that like an older movie?
It came out in like 98, 99.
So this is like the Adventures of Batman and Superman?
Yeah, on WB.
Okay.
And it has one of the coolest moments ever where like Superman just looks through Batman's mask, and he goes like Bruce Wayne, and then he like, oh shit, he just figured out who Batman was, and then Superman goes home and he's like sleeping, and the next thing you know, he like gets up out of his bed, and then he like sees like a tracer on him, and then he like squishes it, and he goes and looks out the window, and he just like uses his telescopic vision to look like 4 football fields away, and the Batman's just looking at him with binoculars like, yeah, bitch, I got you, nigga. And he just puts him down. It's like
he's always
a step ahead.
These all because they did that with when they relaunched like the DC animated.
Yeah,
Have you been watching those movies?
oh, they're great. DC animated is
Yeah.
they
So,
make the best shit.
They did
I remember
Injustice, all that stuff?
Injustice, like Flashpoint Paradox.
the Justice League
Yeah.
War, the movie. I think it was the first one they did.
Yeah,
With Darkseid, Batman and Green Lantern were like in the sewers, like arguing and shit.
yeah.
And Batman like swiped his ring. When,
Oh,
he
yeah.
grabbed him.
How
He's
does it
like,
work?
how'd you get that? He's like, how's it work? And then
Concentration.
he was like, all right. We was like, well, you know my powers. Like, what are your powers? Batman just looks at him and smiles. He was like, wait, hold on, you're not just some dude in a bat costume just running around here. And he just ignores the shit out of him. That's it. Like, cause y'all can't stop it. You seen the Doomsday? After this, we'll definitely close
Doomsday's
out.
the one with the one where he has for
One's
all
where
their powers. He has the stipulation like.
Nah, that's amazing.
Okay.
Doomsday was the dude that killed Superman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know.
And he comes back and he's got the black suit on.
Yeah.
The most recent one.
No, I haven't seen it.
Most recent one is pretty dope because they it's like the Justice League fighting him,
Yeah.
but he's just running through
Everybody.
everybody. But Batman is just somehow still keeping him occupied. Nigga, his fucking shoulder dislocated.
Yeah.
He's just flying around like by this point when they showing it with like he real fucked up. Hawkman, Green Lantern, and Flash are just off in the corner, just passed out somewhere. Like, cause first I think like Hawkman got knocked out, and then Green Lantern corner put him all to the side. He got knocked out. Flash took him, put him to the side. Then fucking Green Lantern got like they were all just like slumped over.
He's smart. He knows when to pull his punches, man. He's just like, you know what? I'm a.
He's the only one without powers, so he knows I'm not gonna win a head-to-head fight.
No,
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, I can outrun him, I can
Yeah.
out-hit him, and he's like, Batman's like, I can't out-hit anybody.
they did that. He did that in the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 when he tried to fight the mutants boss.
Yeah.
And got just fucked up. He was
Yeah.
because he was like he's getting ready to go back out there, and Alfred was like, "You're barely holding together. You think you can fight him?" He was like, "I tried to match him when he's young." He was like, "Not this time." He lures him into like a mud pit, and
Yeah.
he was like, "You don't get it. This is the operation table," and just start breaking this nigga bones and shit.
Chop,
Break his
cutting, throat.
Nice.
Mhm.
That's why I was
Search.
excited about the Batman vs Superman movie when everybody was like so against it.
Yeah, that was a tough one to do though. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's hard.
It was like 4 stories in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was. Zack Snyder's not the best at adapting things.
Well, you and my brother have a lot in common, so
Yeah,
he can't stand that nigga.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, he was like he's not that great of a director.
Well, yeah. You want to plug any shows and events? Obviously, you're a comedian and you perform at Music Inn.
Oh
regularly.
yeah, we have a show live at the end. We do every month, and then I have the show that I make online called Uninspired.
Oh yeah,
TV.
that's actually I will definitely co-sign like that's just
Sure.
actually funny because it's
Shit there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all your design, right?
yeah. I had the guy draw it from. It's from an image from the show, and then I just had someone put in Japanese.
Got you.
But watch Uninspired TV and live at the end.
Yeah. Instagram, Facebook, all of that shit.
Yep, on Instagram it's
Facebook.
Uninspired TV,
Yeah,
Facebook, YouTube, Uninspired TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dog. All right. Well, this has been Negro Jump.
Negro
Appreciate you, man.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, my
Yeah,
brother.
dog.